the worst gardening tool ever. That's it. Morning everyone, just unprofessional I know, showing the mic. I'm gonna do, excuse me, I want to get one of them days where I do a bit of graft in the garden, and it's more not, like the big job. Well, I suppose what I've got planned are big jobs, but not like I've done the cleaning in the hotel, kind of built the, all the JB's got the greenhouse to build. It's just gardening, allotment gardening. First off, what I did notice last time I was up here was shredded to bits. Can you see? I mean, this is that thick cardboard. Do you know what I mean? It's like the eBay cardboard, which is like bull metal, but the storms have just kind of obliterated that one. So that's going in one of the compost bins. What I want to show you as well, I mean, I go and put the most expensive mulch on the week that there's storms. This was one bag of that strulch, and I tell you what, you can notice, mind you. Can you see all the little weeds coming there? The bit that hasn't been blown away still smothered them. Now I've got one bag of strulch, yeah, I think that was funny, but it rocked up the other day, not the other week. Let me show you this, what I'm going to use far cheaper. I've got to give a kind of shout out to Tony O'Neill, do you know what I mean? Put us onto this a few years ago for the kind of the potatoes in pots. This is, I'm not saying it's the same thing, but it's the same principle. It's like, I think it's rapeseed straw shredded down, has the same effect. I'm thinking, when I did it on the pots with potatoes over there, not a weed come through. And now that big bag was something like £9. Do you know what I mean? It was just like mole farmers online, something like that. It's done its job for a while, but it's had its day. And like you say, it'll just break down in the garden, in the allotments, in the bloody compost bin, man, that's what I meant to say. What I still want to do is feed me beds as well. So I'm going to kill two birds with one stone, as they say. Lots of worms in here. I can see straight off the belt. It's amazing to kind of know that, you build raised beds and you think, it's double-edged sword. You think, I haven't got enough compost, and then eventually you start getting loads of compost and you think, where am I going to put it all? But it's amazing how, I'll just show you on this one, this bed there, how much the soil sinks, how much the worms take down. You could put probably about wheelbarrow loads of compost on that one. I put two on there, I could put another one on there. It doesn't half just sink down. So you think, I mean, where's this one here? I mean, look at that one, how much that shrunk, Same with, that one could probably take up a full compost bin. But I've basically got now two bays over there that are, there's probably a few ton in them. And I don't, unless I can get someone to help us turn me compost bins, thank you very much whoever did it, I don't normally do it. So it just breaks down still, but there's no heat involved. It's like a cold compost, seeds, weeds. But now with a cheap supply of, because I just couldn't justify, the kind of 30 bags of strulch. I can do one or two for demonstration, but I'm hoping this in the real world is just as good. And this stuff, mind you, there's a lot in here because it's totally compressed down. So yes, Strulch might be lovely, do you know what I mean? And if the Strulch company want to send us some, you know what I mean, I'll be happy to kind of put it on my garden. But it's hard to put that kind of price on things and just put it on your garden, do you know what I mean? Right, putting that on the cardboard so I'll see it. Actually, it's stuck in the wall. Now I remember this stuff being, you've got to break it up. And I'll do the same. Oh, it's got a lovely, like, animal-y smell, you know what I mean? Like I say, it's straw bedding for horses. When I come to planting this, I'll just part it because I'm going to water it in, and then it gets that kind of lock in position. Then I'll just, like, say for cabbage, I'll just part it, put the cabbage in. Hopefully keeps off the slugs and snails as well. I remember the last time when I put this on, there's a few folks said, will it blow up, you know, does it? And if it's in this state, and if them storms came again, well, the slightest wind, it'll be all over. So you literally have to kind of soak it down, do you know what I mean? Or it'll be, basically, you'll be composting everybody's allotment for bloody miles. And it does sharp break down, and you know, you think, oh, it looks a bit, well, it just goes, you know, you dig it in eventually, or not dig it in, you kind of just works its way in. So we'll just go over. So like I say, this is the Strulch that I got, and this is the, I mean, a totally different colour, but you know, it's some sort of like chopped up straw. So I think I'll just put a little bit on there, patch it up. Just look, I'll just show you what I've seen. This is what you're up against, or I'm up against. So Strulch there, look at the little area, just got blown off a couple of weeks ago. The buggers are there straight away. Now I got the carrots. That's what I'm blaming. I'm not blaming myself, but it didn't work because I'm sure weeds. That's my excuse I'm using. Right then, now I've still got, I've just brought it with us here. I've still got a bag of the Strulch there. So what I'm going to do, I'm still desperately picking little bits off this bed. This is the Cavarel Nero. I'm just going to put it down, and then eventually, I mean, this one's kind of dead, you know what I mean, I can kind of just snip that root off there, snip this whole plant off, leave the root in, and then just later on I'll be planting. Don't know what, but I'll be planting. Mind, I get such a gardening buzz out of, like, even attempting to like hold back weeds, kill slugs and snails, or deter slugs and snails. Mind you, that's got a totally different earthy smell. Now that's been in a hut and it's damp. Oh, it's almost like malted, like beer hops. Smell. That bed's probably the limit to what you can kind of get with a bag of these bags, just a normal bought on Amazon bags. Did I actually explain what I meant there? I mean, the limit of how far you can get a bag of Strulch. You know what I mean? They say like 3 square meters. That's pushing it, that bed. That's what I meant. So my idea is, you know, not every bed, because I've probably got another, say, possibly 3 beds out of that bag, and like 8 foot long by 3 foot wide. So that's what I'm intending to do. Put a little bit of compost on, homegrown compost, cold compost, then cover it with that as well. And I'll tell you what I've noticed, mind you, the leaves are doing remarkably well. Do you know what I mean? That was just like, if anybody, you can see the leaks are still there, still happening. That hasn't blown away at all through all them storms. And even this one, which was a little bit thinner, there's a touch there, that kind of, but that went away ages ago. It's still, you know, free leaves. I tell you what I'm going to do now. I've never done it before. I'll show you. Oh, while I'm here, do you want to see the worst gardening tool in history? I swear to God. Now I know we're talking about Tone O'Neill he recommended this. He likes this tool. Oh, I hate it. I just found it again. Can you see it? It got dug up when everyone came up and helped us like tidy up the garden. Do you recognise what this is? Yes, this is the worst gardening tool in history. I swear. It is. I just didn't like it. So what it is it's rusted up there now, but you have a roll of tape connected somewhere at the front, and you hook it on to like your tomato plant and your stem, pull it, crunch it, and it ties your tomato plant with a ring of like a plastic tape to your stick or to your pole, to whatever. But inevitably it didn't work, it didn't cut the tape. You pulled it away, you got a thread of this red tape which lasted in my garden. I was finding it in everywhere, compost on the ground. So the worst gardening tool ever. That's it. Look, I want to show you what I'm going to do now. I've never done it before, but going over to me, catching it now, going over to me. This is me rhubarb. If you remember, I've got 2 crowns in there. I planted 2 crowns. Just move that bin. This is the one that kind of takes over everything. It's a massive one. This crown never got really away, but I can see a couple of, the shoots are coming there now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to force some. I've got this bucket. I'm going to put it on this crown, see what I get, and just leave it. See if I can get some nice red, white rhubarb. Forcings, and like I said, I don't think there's any skill to it. I've never done it. I'm just going to cover it with a pot. So I'm just going to use this bucket, which was an old rain bucket, and I'll do what? Oh, I'll actually use that. There's a big hell of a bit. Oh. Stops that blowing away. Oh. There we go then. We'll see how that. I could have probably put a couple more, brought it over. We'll see how it goes with that. See what the difference is. Like I say, this crown here, I could probably split it, to be honest. Comes up gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Stacks of it. I can give it away and never run out. But that one's not so good. But we'll try. Right, this bed is going to get a revamp. Well, not a revamp. What I'm going to do is leave that cardboard in, cover it with compost, then me straw. That's what I'm doing. These things are handy as anything, but they don't have to get in the way, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just put them in. I don't want them blowing around. Again, these are handy when you're doing your pea shoot, but they blow everywhere as well. Any bit of plastic blows. Right, I'm going to put these here for safekeeping. They're here next week. You know I'm a lazy gardener. Yeah, this has got to go there. It's where it stays. There you go. 3 loads on. It's harder than I thought, to be honest. Getting on. Smack me bloody wheelbarrow. I love this wheelbarrow. I still use it. I went and tried to cantilever it over, but it didn't bloody work so good. Right then. Last stage. You now I've compacted in. right? And it's all messy there. The rain will wash that away. So compost, well, soil compost, whatever, cardboard, then more freshly compost, then this bed of mulch. And like when I just say if it's a cabbage, what I'll do is, you know, if I'm planting, I'll just kind of dig a hole and put the cabbage in, so hopefully this stays on. I'm hoping throughout the season, because what I'm going to do now is buy possibly a couple more bags. £8 a shot, you can't grumble, man. What I'm going to do now, yes, I know it's still January officially, but second early Charlotte, here what I'm going to do, look at. So my idea is, like I say, I'm messing on with compost and everything's out. I've got 2 buckets which I'm going to fill, and I'm going to plant some of these, well, probably 2 potatoes, I think, in each one, in them buckets. I know I'd said I wasn't doing buckets, but this is the thing. Give us a second, I'll tell you this trick. So I'm going to probably, I'll use 4 on 2 buckets. I'm not using any compost, any fertilizer or anything like that, but they're just looking nice, just ready to rock and roll. I'll pop them in. I've got a little bit of compost, but I don't want to get my hands dirty. I'm going to fill them up, but what I'm going to do, actually today I'm going to just put them in the polytunnel, but I'm going to take them home to the greenhouse. I've got heat in that greenhouse, which in some ways is going to waste, you know, that space. So I'm going to put them in and I'm going to leave them in the greenhouse as long as I can. Eventually space is going to become like a real estate, it's going to become a priority, and they'll have to come out, but let's see. So where's my thing? I'll just give them a little, I mean, that compost is quite nice, to be honest. It's not soaky wet. Come on. There we go. And actually I can leave them in here. I mean, if there's going to be a frost, it's all right. It's just, I'll do, actually look at that, bit of wicking grass, I think. It's when the leaves are out, it's a bit of a nightmare, frosts. But I'm going to do the same thing as what I did with the potatoes last time. Put a bit of this on. But now when I did this with the potatoes, I was really impressed. Do you know what I mean? Actually, this is just to kind of stop this stuff flying away. I've got a little, well, not a little bit, I've still got loads left in this. But I'm going to just, to be honest, I can't be bothered to yark in compost into this. So I'm just going to get this in, put a nice layer on. Well, that's actually a nice productive day, to be quite honest. That forced rhubarb, which I've never done before, so I'm interested to see what that's like. Potatoes, yeah, I know it's a little bit early, but I've got a plan. Hopefully the heat in me, you know, I can get them, drag them through, and then sneak a frost, miss a frost, and then bring them up here again. And then them beds, to be honest, I'm going to order some more of that stuff, you know what I mean? Why not? Cheap as chips. Look after yourself, take good care.